Now then all, it's Andy Cunningham, trialist, Syngenta, bank holiday Monday, so it sounds like a good time to do our T2s. Growth stage of the crop is just, the flag leaf's just thinking about extending, so probably BBCH, on the BBCH scale about 41. So and obviously with the year that we had, disease levels are relatively low, so it's quite good that it's a little bit behind the growth stage 39, so yeah, pretty good time to target it now. So, but it's not fungicides. Well, it is a little bit, but it's not what fungicide I'm going to be talking to you about today. It's also important to realise, obviously, the application technique that we use is important, depending on what you want to do. So one of the trials that we're doing here at Aldbrough is looking at whether or not you want to be applying that T2 fungicide to the full height, all the leaf levels of the crop that you've got, given the fact that you had a T0 and a T1 on it, so whether or not they're doing the job that you want them to do, and then topping up again with your T2, or relying on your T0 and your T1 if you put a decent program on, and then letting your T2 focus on the top two leaves, your more yield bearing ones. So the way that I'm going to demonstrate that is we're going to do two different nozzles. One is the O2 F110, and then also the O1 F110. Now there is a slight difference, you've probably noticed. The O1 is going to be applied at an angle. Obviously that one's more of a lower water volume, so that's going to be applied at 100 litres per hectare versus the standard one, which is the O2 F110, and that's going to be directed straight downwards with a water volume of 200 litres per hectare. Obviously the theory being the 200, you've got more of a water volume to get all leaf levels, versus the angled 100 litres per hectare, targeting them top two leaves. So what we're going to be using, obviously it's going to be a Vartis, but we're not going to be using the standard field rate, which we'll probably recommend around, well, a 0.8 litres per hectare plus Bravo. We're going to go at the slightly lower volume water application rate of 0.67, which is still a decent rate, but we may get some differences between the two application techniques. So the variety has been chosen to do this trial is Britannia. So we're hopefully going to get a bit of yellow rust, which there is some there in the untreated plots, and also a bit of Septoria. So it's quite a relatively dirty variety to do a trial like this on, to try and pull out any differences between the two. So let's go and have a look, see what we get. This is the 200 litres per hectare application. Yes, we're using the O2 nozzles straight down into the crop, so obviously targeting all leaf levels. So I apologise for the use of the selfie stick, but it's the best way I could probably think about demonstrating this on my own. So here we go. And the blue dye goes through, and away we go. And finally, the 100 litres per hectare, as you can see, nozzles have been changed. They're going to be at an angle this time, just targeting the top two leaves. Obviously some's going to get further down, but the majority to be targeting the top two leaves. So here we go. Wait for the blue dye to come through after calibrating. Here it comes, and off we go. Very good. Right then, so let's have a look at what results we got from that application. So first of all, we'll have a look at how many leaves we were actually targeting. Let's find a main tiller down here. Hopefully I can, if we choose this one here, we've got the flag leaf, leaf 2, leaf 3, leaf 4, and leaf, is there a leaf 5? I think generally in the main it's down to leaf 4, but there is on some tillers there are leaf 5 still available. So hopefully you can see this on the video, but you can just see the blue specks from the application I've just done, and you can see that yes, it has been applied onto the flag leaf. Hopefully you can see that there, and as we work down there's a nice even application all the way down to that bottom leaf. Even on that one there you can see that there is some blue specks on that. So of your 100% spray solution you're probably getting, I don't know, so we've got 4-5 leaf levels, 30% on the top leaf, and then working your way down to probably 20% on that bottom one. So you've got 30, 25, 25, 20, whatever that adds up to. But it's relatively even across, and you would expect that because of the water volume that I'm using, and the fact that it was angled straight downwards is going to get through that canopy. So you're getting a nice even spread of your fungicide, protecting the lower leaves. Yes, they still have had a fungicide. You can see that there is a bit of septoria down at the bottom, but not a lot to worry about. And you'd still like to think that if you've got fungicide on the flag leaf and flag 2, you're going to be protecting them from any threat that might be coming through. So let's move on over to the 100 litres per hectare application volume. You'd like to think that majority of this spray would have gone onto the flag leaf. So again, it's going to be a finer spray, so the droplets are going to be more smaller, and you can see that they are there on the flag leaf. Now whether or not, because of that water volume and also the angled spray, whether or not any has got down to the bottom, and you can see there are some droplets down there, but there's definitely not as many as you would have done with the 200 litres per hectare. In fact, you would probably say you get in, it's so fine it's difficult to actually see the spray itself. So yeah, so in the main you're probably looking at 40% flag leaf, 30% leaf 2, which only gives you 30% of that spray solution left, with probably 20% on leaf 3. You might even say there's only 5 to 10 on that bottom portion. So the majority of the fungicide that has been applied on this 100 litres per hectare will be majority on the top 2 leaves, which is what I wanted to show. And yeah, let's see if we get any decent results from that. So where the fungicide is going to be applied, these were 2 guard rows. They are going to be, the T2 application is going to be a Elatis, obviously, working with Syngenta, but we're not going to go at the rate that you would probably suggest with such a variety. We're going to go at 0.67, just to see. Obviously it's going to do a really good job, but it might just give us a look-see as to whether or not the efficacy is there with either application volume. So yeah, let's have a look, and hopefully I'll see you on the 21st of June. Thanks for listening.